I'm gonna show you how to finish your first beat in just 15 minutes. Even if you don't know nothing about music, you don't know how to play any musical instruments, and you don't have a music production software on your computer. I'm gonna walk you step by step on exactly what you need to finish your first beat in just 15 minutes, even less. People usually think that making beats is super hard and you need to know a lot of music theory and you need to have years of experience with music production software, but that's all a lie, guys. It's 2025. There's never been an easier time to make music, seriously. And if you stick around till the end of this video, I have a special gift for you, so stay tuned. Let's go. So first of all, we'll need to download a software called Ableton. This is where we'll produce our music, and you have 30 days free trial, okay? So you don't need to pay anything now. So we'll go to ableton.com, there's a link below this video, and we'll click Try Live 12 for free, okay? And then we simply download it. We choose Mac or Windows and we click download. Once it's downloaded, simply install it, and then you'll have to open an account in Ableton, and then you can start using it. And it looks like this when you open it. To start hearing something, I'll go to Live and then Settings. If you're on Windows, we'll go to Options and then Preferences. And under Audio, driver type, we'll choose Core Audio if you're on Mac. If you're on Windows, ASIO. Audio input device, we'll leave it blank, no device. And audio output device, you either choose your MacBook Pro speakers or your computer speakers, or you're using headphones and they're connected to the computer, so external headphones. Then we close this window and we press Tab on our computer, or this button here at the top to switch to this window. Now we need another app. It's called Splice. This is basically where we're gonna get our samples from. So there's a link below this video as well, splice.com, and we click the Try Now. Now, this costs money, but for the first month, it's only $1, guys. Come on, just $1 for making beats. Okay, after that, it's $13 per month, but you don't really have to use it if you don't like it. It's highly recommended. You've got to get this software, okay? Trust me. So we press Get Started, and we open an account. And after we open an account, we get to the website, and we need to press this button and install desktop app. Okay, and then we download the app to our computer. And Splice looks like this. Now let's start exploring it. I'll click on genres and hip hop. We're doing hip hop. And I'll look for something called Song Starter. This is basically our main sample that we're gonna build our beat on. Okay, so let's start listening. So cool, come on. Wow. Woo! Nice. Wow. And you can use these samples as much as you like. They are royalty free. You don't need to pay any additional money. You can download these samples and use them to produce your own music. Really, it's that easy, guys. If we found a sample we like, we press the plus button to download it. So I chose this sample. Now I need to check the BPM. BPM stands for beats per minute. Basically, it's the speed of the song or the sample. So here it's 75. Then we're gonna press here, copy to clipboard. Now I'll go back to Ableton. And here on top where it says 120, I'll click on it and I'll write down 75. Now where it says MIDI, I'll hold it and I'll delete it. I don't need it, the other one as well. Now where it says audio, I simply choose a spot, for example number 5, and I paste it, Command V. If I want to play or pause, I simply do it here in the triangle or with the space bar. Let's listen to it. Nice. Okay, now let's look for drums. I'll go back to Splice and I'll search for drums. Now we'll need to enter the BPM. So I press here where it says BPM and I can choose the range. In our case, it's 75. So I'll write down 5 below, so we get 70, and 5 above, so we get 80. Then I press save. Then I can start listening to some drums. Nice. Cool. So I found this sample that I really liked. And again, I download it by pressing here the plus button. And I copy it here, copy to clipboard. And I go back to Ableton. And I paste it. And let's listen to them together. Nice. Now this one is shorter. So I click it with the small hand and then I press Command D to duplicate it. Okay? And if I want to zoom out or zoom in, I can do it from here, from this menu here, okay? And then if I want to move, I can simply use the trackpad, okay? And I can also zoom in and zoom out with the trackpad. So we have our sample, we have our drums, now we need a bass. Now in order for the bass to sound good with my sample, I need them both to be in the same key. So to check the key, I go to the sample, and it's written in the name of the sample. As you can see, it says BM, which stands for B minor, okay? Now I'll go back to Splice, and where it says key, I'll choose B, then minor, and I'll write down bass. And let's listen. Nice. Nice. Okay, so I found this cool 808. It sounds like this. And I download it and I copy it again. Then I'll need to open a new audio track. So I press Command T. Then I simply paste it. And let's listen to all three of them together. So easy. Then I'll duplicate the bass sample with Command D. Now let's adjust the volume, okay, of each track. So I do it here where it says 0. 0 is basically the maximum. You can go a bit above, but usually will go down, okay? So I simply listen and I adjust the volumes. I want to make sure that nothing is red here or at the bottom here, okay? So I play with the volumes until it sounds good. Now this is the main loop of the beat. Now let's do an intro. I'll simply mark the entire loop without the sample, and I'll drag it with the small hand forward. So I will start with the sample. This will be my intro basically. Now it's a bit too long. I want my drums and bass to start here actually, so I mark them again and I drag them, then they will start here. Okay, now I have the full beat. I'll duplicate the sample. I choose it and I press Command D. And I'll duplicate the drums and bass as well. I'll select them and I press Command D again. Now I can do a small break here, for example. I'll simply delete a small part of the drums, okay? Cool. Now I want to create a part with only the drums and bass. So I choose them by selecting them like this, and I press Command D to duplicate it. Let's listen. Nice. This is like a more quieter verse. And I'll select them again and I'll duplicate them again with Command D. Nice. I'll do it again. And after a while, I'll bring back the sample. So I'll copy it and then I'll paste it here. And I can create another break here. For example, even without a bass and without drums. Nice. And for the outro, we'll finish with the sample again. So I hold it and I press Command D to duplicate it. That's it, guys. This is your beat. You've got your first beat. Now let's export it so we'll have the MP3 file. So I choose the length of the sample by choosing it with the trackpad. And I go here where it says File and I press Export Audio. And where it says MP3, I press On and I press Export. And I choose where I want the file to be in my computer. I give it a name, my first beat, for example. I press Save and it exports it. If you want, you can also save the project by pressing Command S. Then I'll give it a name. I'll choose a location and I'll give it a name, my first beat. Then it will save the entire project. Okay, then I press Save. Now let's listen to our beat. Nice. Cool. Now this beat is completely yours. You own the rights to this beat. You don't need to pay anyone. You don't need to pay a lease. You don't need to buy it. And it only costs $1. Now basically you can make much more beats. You can make as many beats as you like. Now if you stuck around until here, I want to give you a free gift. I want to invite you to my free community, DIY Musician, where I teach how to produce your own music, how to make beats. If you want to learn how to record yourself, and if you want to get more into music production, simply click the link below and join the community. It's completely free. Like I showed you, it's super easy to get started with making beats. And I know some haters will say, oh, you're using samples, you're not a real producer, blah, blah, blah. But hip-hop producers use samples since like the beginning of hip-hop. All the biggest producers use samples. Back in the days, they used to sample it from vinyls or like old albums, but then they would have to go for the entire process of getting the permission to use the sample and clearance, and it would be such a headache. Now with Splice, we don't need that permission anymore. We can just use the samples. It's royalty free. We can do whatever we want with them. So that's it for this video. I hope you learned something new. You can click the subscribe and like button, and I'll see you guys in the community.